Hello everyone, it is me, GamePenguin21, and yes, I am in VR again. Because, quite frankly, I remembered an old video that came out about like a couple years ago from a person whose opinion I actually still do kind of respect. But he talked about VR and had some weird things and bad stuff to say about it. Quite frankly, I don't hold it against him for having a lot of the same opinions that like certain other people have about VR. But I wanted to clear up a couple of misconceptions because this video is still up on his channel and I'm unsure if he remembers it or anything like that. But I remembered this and I wanted to talk about it. So yeah, consider this another one of those filler videos until like a more mainstream video comes out. This one's probably going to be shorter than the other ones, but we're going to see. In any case, we're going to watch through the video together and we're going to stop at specific points whenever those specific things happen, and I'm going to give my commentary on it, just to be safe and make sure that, you know, people understand things.
Every human needs to come together and we need to stop this madman. The man I'm talking about is named Palmer Luckey. He's the guy who invented Oculus, but his new invention is turning some heads. His new headset has a game on it, and if you die while playing in the game, you will die in real life. The headset will instantly melt your brain. I don't know what made this guy want to invent something like this. I've seen Black Mirror. I know how this shit ends.
Memes. Literally memes. That's the reason why he invented it. Because it was funny. That's really it. Like, full stop. That's the entire reason why. What? Can't someone just make something weird for funsies? I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone would want to play that game because they don't want to risk their life playing it if they die. But I think he went on to say that it was like made for the funniness of it and to be like a weird reference to Sword Art Online. Plus, yeah, he made Oculus, but he's no longer associated with Oculus anymore in terms of that. Like, oh boy. But, I mean, again, I wouldn't want to play this either, and it's still kind of a weird thing to make, but at the same time, Jesus.
Also, I never got the hype around all this virtual reality bullshit. You hear all these tech people talking about how virtual reality is the future. Who the fuck is gonna wear these things on a 24/7 basis? This is what you want to see for the rest of your life? It looks like the sensory.
I have met so many people that actually do wear these things on like a well, maybe not a 24/7 basis, but there has been someone who literally spent 24/7 hours for like a month. There was an entire documentary made that I think was made before this video, and there was even a few different interviews on it as well. It's one of those things where you don't understand until you've gotten to a significant point. For me, I understood instantaneously why I liked this, and to go into my own personal experience with it, I went to my local public library. I've said the story many a times, and I loved VR from the moment that I slapped on a headset. And even though it was the original Vive, and we're since like many years past that, I have my own headset, and I have full body, even though you really can't see it due to the purple couch behind me. But I do have it. See? But at the same time, this is still dumb, because who's going to wear this 24/7? A lot of people. Like, literally a lot of people. Thrillseeker's entire content revolves around him wearing VR headsets, like, entirely. Like, that's his whole career. That's a business that he has made. And he has made business relationships with people who also wear these things practically 24/7. Not entirely in 24/7, but practically. And they're much lighter than you think that they are. Yeah, certainly, they don't look the most comfortable, and they look very odd, but they're made that way because it's for tracking purposes. And the actual, well, thing that I have on my face is a, well, Vive Pro, actually, with index controllers that track my entire fingers, and Vive pucks that I can put onto my body, and I can kick people in the balls in VR. Like, who doesn't want to do that? Who doesn't, as like a weird person from like from 2012 who grew up on the Xbox 360, who doesn't want to teabag their like friends but like actually do that? Not gay, by the way.
rest of your life? It looks like the Sensory Deprivator 5000 from How I Met Your Mother. I've tried this thing, and the first time it's fun, but it gets old pretty quick.
Okay, boy. This is probably going to be a little bit differently, but is this what you want to see for the rest of your life? What? The best self that you can possibly be? Yeah, okay, certainly. It's not the best graphically in a lot of ways, but you're using really like outdated 2006 like Unity or bad era Blender shit as your example. Like this is an example right here in front of you. Hi, hello. I'm in virtual reality. You want to see some other stuff? That right there, that's also in virtual reality. This is like my home world. It's nothing impressive. Like, don't get me wrong. There's just like a couch over here. It's a platform in space, but I still made it. And it's got like stuff in there. In fact, hold on. In fact, hold on. Shit, wrong way. Okay, try this again. In fact, that's the TARDIS. In virtual reality, dude. Like, come on. I don't know if you still hold these beliefs or something like that, but at the same time, you have to understand this has become people's businesses. I stream virtual reality whenever I do my DJ sets. I've been happily doing this for a while now. I've made content on this channel revolving around VR. I don't do it often because, well, it's just not my main form of content. My main form of content is talking about dumbass people's opinions on the internet, and I don't need to whip out the entire VR headset to do that. It's just this time special because I need to prove a point. So yeah. Anyway.
One of my old roommates actually bought one of these a while ago, and for about 5 or 6 months, it just sat there in the living room. Nobody gave a fuck about it, and nobody was...
Okay, so just because you didn't understand or get into virtual reality from slapping on a headset doesn't mean that other people haven't felt like in a different way. And you're also using a Quest 2, which by and large is a good entry point for people who have no idea what the heck virtual reality even is. Again, no one like myself, I don't think if they have like a VR arcade around you, that's probably more of an experience as to what you can actually go out and get as like a nice experience. In fact, what's also really cool about this whole VR thing, I went to Dave & Buster's for my birthday a couple days ago, probably from the uploading of this video. I went out to Dave & Buster's, and they literally had VR, like, play stuff. Like, you could literally slap on a VR headset, and they put you in, like, a motion capture, well, not a motion capture, but they put you on, like, this wobbly thing, and you had a headset on your face, and you could look around the entirety of the thing. Like, that's been a thing. Virtual reality arcades are a thing. They're not super abundant. But, again, even though you might not understand it, that doesn't mean that other people, like, don't do that. This game, VR Chat, the one that I'm currently in and talking to you from, literally can have over 60,000 players at any given moment throughout the day. Like, that's like I don't think that's peak hours. Maybe that's peak hours. I don't know the specifics of the numbers. But that's a lot of fucking people. And that's just the reported numbers. There could be a lot more on any given day. I know for me, like, I sometimes... We max out venues for like 80 plus people, and that might not sound like a lot, but when you're talking about avatars fully rendered on your computer, 80 is a lot to be having in one given space, especially since this game only runs on like Unity. Again, you might not understand it, but just because someone like makes a headset that you don't get why they made it, which they clearly made it for the memes, just because you don't get that doesn't mean that the entirety of VR is bad. And you don't have to go bad-mouthing off to people who like VR and who love it and who actually keep this headset on their face and stuff. It's... Anyway, let's finish this out before I get too angry.
Nobody gave a fuck about it, and nobody was even slightly interested. We would play on an Xbox 360 instead, because even though it's like 10 years old, it's still a lot more fun.
And that's your opinion. And I don't really agree with that. I mean, again, in all honesty, I'm more or less playing a character, like I say in a lot of my videos. I'm not using this to spread hate throughout the internet and say, "Ah, you should be canceled because you don't like VR." No. You can have your opinion. But who would want to have this on their head 24/7? Roughly, like, a lot of people. People that could go for hours without it. In fact, again, I would recommend that if you haven't already, look up the dude who spent an entire, like, month or so in virtual reality. He had different headsets that he would swap out. He blocked out the sun. He never left his house for that entire time and had a pretty healthy and fulfilling time through it. And again, you can watch the interview as well that he had later on after he released this documentary. It's quite interesting to look at because while that is like a dystopian future type dealio, and that's probably a super extreme way of looking at virtual reality, it's not it has its ups and downs, most definitely. And I'm not the best person to really talk on the subject. There are many people who, again, that's their job to do it. But this video is a bad take about virtual reality, and it is just makes me a little angry. But again, I'm not here to spread hate. And if you know this person, I've completely forgotten their name because I stopped seeing their content in my feed. But he does a lot of YouTube shorts and TikToks and stuff. So yeah, if you know him, you can set him down in the description, and well, maybe not send him down in the description. In any case, that's really all that I had for this video. And in all honesty, that's really all that I had in general to talk about today. I'm tired. Anyway, my name is GamePenguin21. Virtual reality has improved a lot since this video, and is a super huge industry still, and has a lot of people backing it. Don't let this guy's opinion say otherwise, I guess. Or don't send hate his way, either. But my name is GamePenguin21, and I've already said, like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and a peace off.